name's Alana. If you haven't met me before, I'm going to take you for a grounding and heart-opening yoga practice today. When you work with a grounding practice, you're essentially concentrating on your base, so your legs, your feet, where they are in position, and you're also thinking about the strength of your core, so tucking that tail under, drawing the navel in, so you're nice and strong and steady through your base. And then of course we want to maintain, especially at the moment, a sense of opening in the heart. So right now we're having to go in, we're having to lock down, we're having to separate ourselves from other people in the community. And when we do this, what often happens is we have the tendency to perhaps close down our hearts as well. And it's important to remember that even though we are isolating and we're on our own, that we can still maintain a sense of community. That's why we've created these videos for you here, so you can still feel connected to us, still part of Swan Active, and still part of your physical exercise, your yoga practice, whatever it is. So I hope that as you practice today, that you'll find a little inner strength. Trust your support, trust your base, trust yourself, and also allow your heart to remain open so that we can continue to be connected to the community, the world at large, and to really feel everyone essentially is in the same boat. So you're going to start lying on your back. And if you do, today I've got my yoga bolster here today, but if you can, at home, I'd like you to either have a nice folded blanket. You can fold it in lots of different levels to suit your body. We're going to use it at the end of the practice. So coming to rest on the back of the body in Shavasana. Taking a moment to arrange your body. Separate the legs. Let the arms move away. Allow the palms to roll up towards the ceiling. And close down the eyes. And just start simply by breathing in deeply through your nose. And taking a soft sigh out of the mouth. Can you feel yourself arrive on your mat? Ready for your practice? And beginning to connect to your physical body. Begin first simply by just noticing all the points along the back of your body that are touching the floor, touching your mat. Can you imagine here that the ground, the earth beneath your body is holding you? So you don't need to hold yourself. You can begin to let the muscles surrounding your bones relax. Notice if there's areas where you're holding or gripping, where you're tightening the body. Can you soften into it? Can you release? Can you imagine that the ground holding you beneath the entire length of your body is holding you the way you would hold a baby? Babies are amazing. The way they trust completely that strong arm that's carrying them. They let every part of their body relax and usually fall asleep. Can you let yourself be the same? Can you soften? At the moment we're in a situation which is completely out of our control. And when that happens, it's almost as if we try harder to control it. The fear arises, the anxiety kicks in, and we're desperately trying to change what's happening around us. But we can't. So here at the beginning, I invite you to just relax. Let go of the fear. Let go of the anxiety, the uncertainty of what's to come. And just be here in this present moment. You're probably at home. You're safe. You're surrounded by your things, your smells, your comforts. So relax. Take a deep breath in now and begin to wiggle a little through your fingers and your toes. Gently bend your elbows and begin to circle through your wrists. You might like to stretch your fingers out nice and wide and then make fists with your hand, squeeze them in. And then gently let the arms reach up and over your head. Just lay them on the ground behind you. You're going to step your left leg over towards your right foot. And here we're going to make what's called banana asana, or a banana shape, C shape with the body. You might even like to cross your left ankle over the right and take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Just here simply find a little curve, a lovely lengthening through the left side body, and breathe into the left side of your ribs. Can you notice here anywhere that there's tension? Somewhere where maybe you're gripping or you're holding a little too tightly. Can you soften into it instead? No need to force the body into particular shapes. Just simply let it be. Next in-breath, walk yourself back into the center line. And then you can change. Step your feet now over to the left side of your mat. Maybe you'd like to cross the right ankle over the left and hold on to the right wrist with your left hand. Make that right side now nice and long as you curve through the body. Notice where on this side there might be tension. Where are you holding? Where are you maybe trying a little too hard? Next in-breath, walk yourself back into the center. And as you breathe out now, let your hands come down by your sides. Perhaps press the palms into the mat next to your hips. Draw a breath in and draw your right knee towards your chest. Hug the knee in, give it a little squeeze. Stretch the toes nice and wide and squeeze them in together. Change direction of your circles. And now gently bending the left knee, place your foot onto the ground. Maybe feel the pressure of that foot into the ground. Feel the lower back lengthen. Press that into the ground as well. And you might even feel this right knee hug up into your chest just a little bit more. Next inhale breath, raise the right leg towards the ceiling. Take your hands around to the back of your thigh, and as you flex through the right foot, pushing your heel towards the ceiling, pull the toes towards the face. Here you're just meeting your minimum edge with this hamstring stretch. Nice gentle pull of the leg a little closer to the body. Take a nice deep breath in. See if you can reach that breath to the very sole of your foot. And as you breathe out next, bend the knee, hug it back in, and then let the leg go. You can feel your right now foot connect to the floor. Maybe adjust a little through your hips or roll a little through your shoulders. Let's take the left knee up and into the chest. Hug that in. Give it a good squeeze. Stretch out through your toes. Squeeze your toes. And make those lovely slow circles with your ankle. Working here in both directions. The next in-breath, raise the left leg towards the ceiling. As you take hold of your thigh, gently pull on the leg. Once more, just meeting your minimum edge here with your hamstring. Maybe you'd even like to pull it a little closer to you, but then let it go. Just a nice, soft moving in and out to the stretch. Take a nice breath in, let it reach the sole of your foot. And as you breathe out, bend the knee and hug it gently back to the chest. Let's release that left foot down and onto the floor. Taking a little Setu or bridge pose now, with your hands down on either side of your body. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips, your feet are a comfortable distance away from the bottom. And as you breathe in, feel your belly expand. As you breathe out, draw the navel to the spine, tilt the tail up, and begin to peel your hips a little off the floor. It doesn't matter if you don't come up to your full height. Perhaps you'd just like to create a little lift. Feel the engagement through the legs as you hold your pose. Take a nice deep breath in here through your nose. And as you breathe out of your nose, draw the navel in and then roll yourself one vertebrae at a time back towards your mat. Okay, let's create another movement. In breath, expand the belly. As you breathe out, draw the navel to the spine and peel the hips up towards the ceiling. Maybe this time they come up just a little bit higher. If they do, draw the chin towards your throat. Feel the back of the neck nice and long. Feel the strength here in your legs, even if they're shaking or trembling just a little. Take an in-breath as you hold the pose. And breathing out, draw the navel to the spine and lower your spine, the hips, all the way back down. Okay, and final round, in-breath, expand the belly. Breathing out, draw the navel to the spine and lift those hips off the floor, peeling yourself up. Come all the way up to your highest point. Let the chin draw towards your throat. Again, feel the strength in the legs. Maybe the contraction of your glutes. They're part of your core, your base as well. Nice deep breath in now. Expand the belly. And as you breathe out, release. Slowly lowering all the way back down. This time as you reach the floor, draw both knees towards your chest. Take them nice and wide. Point them towards your armpits, hands on your shins. You can give yourself a lovely rock here from side to side. Just allow yourself to move slowly. Feel the lower back. Feel your sacrum press into the floor. Now keeping the knees nice and wide, let the feet extend towards the ceiling and then reach up for your feet. You can grab anywhere you like, but feel your feet in your hands. Maybe feel their amazing structure, the soft pads. Maybe you can wiggle the feet a little or move them around and feel the muscles and the tendons engaging them. As you find this happy baby, if you want a little more depth, press your feet into your hands as you try to pull your knees down towards your armpits. Can you feel the difference? How much stronger your legs, your feet are than your upper body? It's not often we trust them though, is it? We tend to operate and function from the upper body, using the arms, using the head, the shoulders, constantly overworking them, rather than using the parts of ourselves that are stronger, that can handle it. Take an in-breath now, release the feet. Maybe draw your knees in towards your chest. You can hug yourself into a little ball. You might even like to lift up your head and draw your nose towards your knees. And then breathing out, just simply let go. Relax your head back down and feel yourself roll over to one side. I'm going to pause here just for a moment in the fetal position. Feel the body relax. Notice perhaps if the mind is still racing, perhaps different racing to get to the next pose, or in a hurry. Just simply let go again. Feel yourself soften. Inhale breath, press into your hand now and slowly rise. You're going to come into a comfortable seat. So if you have your blanket or a cushion there, you can take it underneath your hips, just to give yourself a little extra height, very supportive for the body. And of course, if cross legs doesn't work for you, you can always change. You might like to bring the soles of your feet together, take the knees out to the side. You could even extend the legs nice and long. Okay? As long as the spine's nice and lifted, it'll be comfortable for you. Once you've found your seat, gently close the eyes. Take a moment maybe to roll through your shoulders or tilt the head and the neck. I have this tendency, anytime I'm in my head, maybe I'm thinking too much, I'm a little overwhelmed, I roll through my neck and my head with my eyes closed. I give my neck a little stretch. I open and close my mouth and create a little release through the jaw. And it seems to get me out of my mind and into the sensations of my body. So if you're anything like me, always thinking, then maybe have a little try of that. Let's take a breath in now, stretch the arms up. As you breathe out, clasp the fingers together and press the palms towards the ceiling. I'm just going to find some length here through both sides of the body. I'm starting to think now about opening a little through the heart and the chest. As you press the hands tall, feel the tail lengthen down. Keep yourself grounded into the earth. Good, inhale breath now, release the right hand to the floor. You're going to press into your fingertips or the whole palm, and as you breathe out, just feel a stretch extend you through the left side. Now notice here if you're lifting up your left knee, can you press it down? It's not about how far you can lean over to the right side, but how long you can get in your left. You might even like to roll the chest a little more, keeping the heart open, and see if you can breathe into this side of your ribs. Good, little press into the right hand now, come back up. And as you breathe out for the left hand, come to the floor, you can press that into the earth. Inhale, raise the right arm towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, reach now over to the left. Again, keep that heart rolling open, maybe even turn your head as if you're looking past your arm. Keep your right knee pressing in towards the floor as you breathe into the right side. Okay, the inhale, rise yourself up, lifting. And breathing out now, just simply let go. Bring the hands onto the knees, maybe take another roll of the shoulders, close down the eyes. Can you notice here if there's perhaps just a little more space across your chest? If there isn't, maybe the shoulders are rounding or you're slumping, can you draw the shoulders down the back? Invite your heart to stay open. Maybe even turn your palms up towards the ceiling. And for a few moments here, I'd like you now to connect to your heart energy. Bring your awareness to the very center of your chest. Begin to breathe deeply through the nose and out through the nose. Can you feel the belly rise? And perhaps the chest rise? As you breathe out, draw the navel to the spine, feel the chest release. Now some of you may notice that there's a tightness across your chest. I know for myself, when I go into a state of anxiety, when I become very stressed, there's a physical response to my mind in my body. The tension happens across the chest. There's almost a tightness, a pain in my heart. My shoulders begin to ache and my neck will begin to seize up. So if you're anything like me, those physical responses are perhaps coming from the mind, the anxiety, the fear, and at the moment, that's pretty much what we're all running on. So bring your awareness to the body. Bring your awareness to the breath. Any sensations that you're feeling in your body, instead of trying to fight them or resist them, trying to control them and put them into a little box, can you simply just soften? Being aware of what's present in your body, but inviting yourself to let go. Just feeling the breath. Take a little bow of your head towards your chin. Let your fingers reach forward. Come gently off your bolster, your support, whatever it might be. You're going to take a child's pose now. Nice and comfortable, let the knees travel out wide to the long edges of your mat. Let the big toes come together. Press the bottom back towards your heels, and maybe here there's a little movement you'd like from side to side to feel into this lower half of your body, your base. With your palms spread wide, your fingers nice and open, draw your shoulders down the back, lift the chin. Feel the stretch through the neck, maybe a little movement there from side to side. And then taking an in-breath, begin to pad your hands forward and gently ease your way down into a child's pose. Nice and comfortable, relax through the elbows, release through the head. If the head doesn't quite reach the floor, you may like another support here. So perhaps a cushion off your couch, tuck it underneath the forehead so you don't feel as if you have to reach your head all the way to the floor. The goal of your child's pose is to get the bottom sinking back towards the heels and gently lengthening. Take an in-breath now and slowly rise. You're going to come up to all fours, and as you reach all fours, bring the knees underneath your hips, and I'm going to invite you to move any way that you choose. So if you're feeling in your legs that you'd like to maybe stretch them out and circle through the ankles, then do that. If you're feeling maybe some tension in your hips, create some nice big hip circles. If you're still feeling that tension in the shoulders, maybe some barrel rolls or just some rocks from side to side. And of course you have your Viladasana, your cat-cow, tuck the toes, sink the belly, feel the chest and the head lift. And as you breathe out, draw the navel to the spine, untuck and press and round. Just for a few more moments though, close your eyes, explore the body. Perhaps you're moving in such a way to ease that tension out. Or you're just simply letting yourself be here in this moment, connected to your body rather than the craziness that might be going on in the head. Next breath in, gently come back to the center. Take a moment here to find a little length through the spine. Draw the navel in, flatten through the lower back. And we're going to take a stretch through the back of the right leg. So tuck the toes, keep them connected to the mat, your floor, and press back through your heel. You might even like a little rock here, forwards and back. Good. Once you find a place to stretch, tuck the tail under a little more. Draw the navel in and reach long with the crown of the head. Imagine you're pressing that ground away from you, nice and strong. Good. Next in-breath, raise the right leg off the ground. You're going to take a nice length here. So imagine you're standing on that right foot. Flex it. Press it against that back wall. Imagine your outer hip is rolling down and your inner thigh is rolling up. Good. Next in-breath, point the toe towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, flex your foot, lift your hip, and take your gaze to the right side. So a nice little opening here through the right side of your hip. You can come up onto the right fingertips, maybe even take a little movement through that back leg. Well done. Inhale, release the knee down. And as you breathe out now, let the bottom drop back towards the heels. Come into that child's pose, but this time just creeping the hands a little further forward. Allow your head to come down, even if it doesn't touch the floor. Maybe feel your ears between your arms, and just find a little length through both sides of your body. Take an inhale breath here, draw the navel in, feel yourself rise, lengthening towards the ceiling. You're coming up into a pose called Bali. So as you reach through your arms, draw the shoulders down your back. If you're feeling a little unstable through the legs, you might even like to tuck your toes and press through the arches of your feet to find a little more extension through the front of the body. Good. Inhale breath here. As you breathe out, release yourself back down. Draw the navel to the spine, tuck the tail, lower the hands to the floor. And then we're going to slither through and onto the belly. So use the forearms, release the chest down, and just come to rest on the belly. As you find your belly pose, maybe again there's a little movement here through the legs, the feet. You might like to roll through your shoulders. And as we prepare for our Bhujangasana or Cobra pose, let the palms come underneath your shoulders. They're about nipple height. Draw those elbows into your sides and release your forehead to the floor. Now let's let this action coming up into Cobra come from the legs. So press into the tops of the feet, lengthen through your tail, press your pubic bone down, and as you inhale, feel yourself roll up and into your Cobra. Draw the shoulders down the back, feel the heart open as those elbows stay pinned into your sides. Next exhale breath, release the body down, letting go. In breath, push up to the knees, find in all fours, and as you exhale, bottom back towards the heels again. Maybe this time a little further forward, creeping the fingers into your child's pose. Good. In breath, rise back to all fours, and let's come over to that left side. So take your left foot, stretch it back behind you. Keep the toes curled and connected to your mat or your floor. A little press through the heel to find the length in the leg. Once you find the stretch, tuck the tail under, draw the navel in, flatten through the lower back, and feel nice and strong through that left leg. Good. Next in-breath, raise the leg off the floor. As you breathe out, keep the foot flexed. Roll the outer hip down, the inner thigh up. Find a little more length through the head and your balance. Balance here isn't about being perfectly still. It's about tuning into all those tiny little wobbles and shakes in the body. Next in-breath, bend the left knee, point the toe. And as you breathe out, flex the foot and roll that left hip open to the side. A little rise on the fingers, a little turn of your head. Well done. In-breath, release the leg down. Breathing out again, bottom towards the heels, extended child's pose. Good. As you inhale, rise into Bali. Find that length, lifting up on the shins. Maybe again you need to tuck the toes to find that space. Feeling strong through the bottom as you reach. As you breathe out, draw the navel in, release yourself back down. Hands can land, soften onto the forearms. Inhale breath as you slither through. This time, maybe just a little movement as you engage, ready for your cobra. And let the tail lengthen down, press into the pubic bone, roll yourself up, Bhujangasana. As you breathe out, release yourself back down. This time as you breathe in, come up to the knees. But as you exhale, tuck the toes and use those legs to press and roll yourself up and into downward facing dog. Now this is your first dog, so take a moment to walk out through your feet, circle the ankles, really nice, slow, mindful movements here through the legs. And think about your hands a little too. They are part of your base. They're connected to the earth, so spread them nice and wide so you feel stable through them as well. Take an in-breath now, let the right leg raise towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, you're going to bend your knee and roll your hip open. Now, this is a slightly more challenging pose, a bent three-legged dog. So if you need to, I'll invite you to come back to all fours and repeat exactly what we just did before. Next in-breath, draw that right knee gently forward towards your nose. If you're on your knees, you can use your hand. Step that right foot through and find a lunge. So if your back knee's on the floor, simply tuck the toe, come up into a runner's lunge. Good, little softness here through your hips. Maybe a little press through that back left heel. And then here, I'd like you to tuck your tail, feel your belly lift off your thigh, and see if you can just lightly take your fingertips off the floor. Can you pull your shoulders down your back? Can you lengthen a little through the crown of your head? Good, well done. In breath, release the hands to the floor, soften that left knee down. You're coming back to your low lunge. Good, inhale breath, raise the arms towards the ceiling now. As you lift through the arms, stay connected to your base, nice and strong, especially through that left leg and your glute. And as you breathe out now, draw the elbows back and down. Keep the heart nice and open, just release through your fingers. Good, next in-breath, raise the arms back up. And as you breathe out now, bring your left hand to the floor. It can be a little bit wider, coming off your mat. And let your heart turn towards the right side. Can you feel the right arm maybe reach back? A little squeeze of your belly as it twists in towards the right thigh. Good, inhale breath, release the hands down, frame the foot. And as you breathe out, tuck your toe, lift the knee, and step back into downward facing dog. Or you can come back into all fours. Simply take a little movement here. You're either moving through your feet in your downward dog, or you're perhaps rolling through your hips if you're on all fours. Next in-breath, raise the left leg towards the sky. Breathing out as you bend your knee, roll the hip open. Find that space again through the left side. If you're in downward dog, press the left armpit towards the ground. Good, in-breath, draw the knee forward towards your nose. Finding your lunge, you're going to step that leg through. And if you're in your low lunge, lift the back knee off the floor so you can ease a little into your hips. Maybe press through that back heel. And finding the strength in the legs, tuck the tail, draw the navel in, a little bit of lightness in your fingers. Can you pull the shoulders down the back as if you're trying to lift your heart up? Good, inhale breath, now release the right knee down. Untuck the toe and find the low lunge again. Inhale breath, raise the arms towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, pull through the elbows, keep the heart nice and lifted. Just release the fingers down. Good, inhale, sweep the arms back up. And as you breathe out, this time, right hand comes to the floor. Again, outside the mat if you like. Reach the left hand nice and wide. Feel that twist from your belly towards the left thigh. Open through the chest. Breathe it in, release the hands down. Frame your left foot. And this time as you breathe out, step the right foot forward and come into a lovely dangling fold. Bend through your knees. Release through your head. You might like to take hold of opposite elbows here. Nice little swing from side to side. Those lovely breaths in and out through the nose. Can you connect here to your feet? Or roll the shoulders, maybe it's somewhere else in the body that you're feeling it. So give yourself a chance to come back out of the mind and into the body. Surya Namaskar. Inhale breath as you gently raise your arms to the sky. Let the palms connect together, and as you breathe out, bend the knees and slowly roll yourself down. Let's take an in-breath and step with the right leg. You're coming into that runner's lunge, so perhaps more little ease into your hips. Little bounce, and then we'll find some strength. So feel those legs, tuck the tail, draw the navel away from the spine. Maybe this time you come up a little bit higher. You might even start to swing or reach your hands a little behind you as your shoulders draw down the back and the chest lifts. Inhale, release the hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. And just take a moment here maybe to move a little or to deepen your stretch if that feels right for you. Inhale, breath as you rise on your toes, ripple forward and meet plank pose. We're going to take this straight to a knee plank. This will be your gentle option. So knees to the floor, untuck the toe. Find that squeeze and tuck of your buttocks. Let the heart press forward, drawing the shoulders down the back. Inhale, breath here as you breathe out, bend the elbows, release the upper body to the floor. A little mini chaturanga. And as you inhale next, let the heart lift, lengthening through the tail into your cobra pose. As you breathe out, push up to your knees, tuck the toes, and let the bottom lift up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog again. Simply pause to breathe in. Maybe a nice sigh out of the mouth, letting go. Inhale, breath as the right leg raises towards the sky. As you breathe out, bend the knee, roll that hip open. And as you inhale next, draw the knee forward towards the nose, step it through, and you'll land in your low lunge. Left knee to the floor, untuck that back toe. Inhale, breath as the arms reach towards the sky. This time as you exhale, draw the shoulders down, but bind your hands behind your back. Feel that lovely clasp, pull through the shoulders, open through the chest. Maybe there's a little movement that's needed there for your head as well. Inhale, breath, raise the arms back to the ceiling. As you breathe out, left hand comes down a little wider off your mat and feel that twist, turning the belly towards the right thigh. As you inhale, release the hands down, step the left foot forward. And as you breathe out, fold over your legs. As you inhale, rise yourself up. Maybe it's a nice little roll up through the spine. But this time as your heart opens, sweep the arms wide. Catch that high prayer again above your head. And as you breathe out, draw the hands down to the heart center. If you find here you start to creep up into the upper body or maybe get a little tense, come back to your feet. Maybe even release the palms from the chest and let the palms turn forward. Let the heart stay open. Inhale, breath, raise the arms. Breathing out, folding forward. Maybe it's a little stronger this time. In breath as the left leg steps back, find that runner's lunge. Feel yourself draw the navel in, tuck the tail, lifting up. Can you slightly wing your hands back behind you now? Maybe even spreading the fingers nice and wide as you open through your chest. Your arms, your hands, of course, are an extension of your heart. And take an in-breath, release the hands down, step the right foot back into downward dog, and breathe out once you're there. In-breath as you rise on your toes, ripple forward, meet your plank. And this time you have an option. You can lower with your knees, mini chaturanga as we did before, or you can release all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes, let your in-breath lift your heart, Bhujangasana. And as you breathe out, again, your options, knees or maybe no knees to tuck and lift back into downward facing dog. And simply pause, take a breath in, side out, letting go. In breath, raise the left leg to the sky. Breathing out as you bend your knee, roll your hip open. Use your in-breath to draw that knee forward, knee to nose, step it through, and sink that back knee, the right knee, to the floor. Inhale, breath as the arms lift, find your Anjali Asana. As you exhale, draw the elbows back and down. Again, you're finding that bind, lovely squeeze, extra openness through the chest. And as you inhale next, reach the arms back to the sky. And as you breathe out, right hand now to the floor, twist. Let the belly turn towards that left side. Maybe a nice little arch back as you open your chest. Breathe it in, release the hands, step the right foot forward. As you breathe out, gently fold over the legs. This time as you rise, perhaps you'd like to reach the hands now from the floor all the way to the ceiling, circling the sun. And as you breathe out, draw the palms down to your heart center. Again, simply pause for a moment. One full round just being completed in the body. Notice perhaps any sensations going on. If the breath is a little faster, maybe there's some heat arising in your body. You can let go of the hands and turn the palms forward. Let the heart stay nice and open. Perhaps here, now, are you starting to feel some sensations across your chest? Second round, let's get just a little bit stronger. Use your inhale as you raise your arms. Exhale, breath as you fold forward. Take an inhale, step your right leg back, find that lunge. Tuck the tail, draw the belly up, and raise a little higher here in your lunge. Next, in breath, sweep the arms towards your sky. This is your high crescent lunge. As you breathe out, feel yourself land. Even if it means a little extra charge through that back heel, a little softness in the knee, a little more scoop of your tailbone under. And as you breathe out next, release your hands, bind to them behind your back, squeeze open through your chest. In breath, as the hands release to the floor, step back, downward facing dog as you exhale. In breath, as you rise on your toes and meet your plank. And again, you have your options to lower, so all the way down or use your knees. Use your in-breath, find a cobra. Those of you used to practicing your up dog, you might like a little press from the floor. Either pose is an opening of your heart. And as you breathe out, shift back, downward facing dog, using your options. Inhale, breath, lift the right leg to the sky. Breathing out, bend the knee, roll that hip open. Take an inhale, draw the knee forward to your nose, step it through. Sink that left knee to the floor, low lunge. Inhale, breath as the arms lift to the sky. As you breathe out now, reach the left hand to the floor, maybe a little wider. Open into your twist. Let that right arm reach you back, lots of space across the chest. And here, just to have a little play, you might like to take an in-breath, tuck that back toe, lift your knee, find the higher lunge, and maybe just a little more space across your chest in your twist. Breathe it in, lower the hands down, frame your foot to step forward. As you breathe out, fold over your legs. As you inhale, rise from the floor to the ceiling. Breath out, hands to heart center. Second side, inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, breath as the left leg steps. As you exhale, find that strength through the legs, that tuck of your tail, that belly lifting. Slowly rise, coming up and into your lunge. And when you're here, that strong, steady base, let your inhale lift your arms, floating your heart open. As you breathe out, maybe a little more softness through that back knee. Clasp the hands, squeeze and open through your chest. Breathing in, release the hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, breath, rise to your toes, meet plank. As you breathe out, use your options to lower. Inhale, breath, lift the heart, whether it's cobra or up dog. And as you breathe out, use those knees to travel back where it's needed. Inhale, breath, raise the left leg to the sky. And breath out as you bend your knee, roll the hip open. Inhale as the knee draws forward, step it through. Low lunge as the right knee sinks to the floor. Breathe it in, float the arms. As you breathe out, right hand down, reach it wide and take that twist, opening to the left. Belly turns towards the thigh. Again, if you'd like that little play, just simply take a breath in, tuck the back toe, lift your knee, and maybe find a little more space here through the chest. Rather than just relying on that right hand that's on the floor, can you come onto your fingertips and actually trust a little more the strength in your base? Breathe it in, release the left hand down, step forward. Breath out as you fold. And as you inhale, rise, reaching from the floor to the ceiling. Breath out, hands down to the heart center. Again, simply pausing between your rounds. Take a moment here just to release. Maybe there's a little wiggle, maybe you need to connect again to the body, get out of the head. Just some nice smooth breaths. You can let your left hand come to your heart and the right hand to your lower belly. Maybe here just feel the movement of your breath, that steady thump, thump in your chest. Let's change it up a little now. Coming back to the top of the mat. Moment to find your mountain pose again. Use your in-breath, raise the arms. As you breathe out, fold forward. Take an in-breath as you step the right leg back, find that lunge. And when you're ready, you're going to lift that nice, slow, steady lift into your high crescent lunge. Good, take a moment here to plant. Maybe press a little deeper through the back heel. Feel the heart raise. Good, next inhale breath, allow your hands to wing back behind you. You're going to reach into an arrow pose here. So reaching long with the crown, stretch those fingers back behind you nice and wide. Good, then inhale, lift yourself back up into the lunge. And as you breathe out, we're going to come into warrior two. So spin that back heel to the floor, plant it. Maybe there's a little foot shuffle. And as you exhale, land in Virabhadrasana 2. A little ease here through the legs, not just to create ease, but also to keep yourself connected to the base. Once you've found your pose, perhaps you'd like to close your eyes, just simply feeling again those little micro movements in the body. Do you have your tail tucked under that lower back, nice and long? Are your shoulders soft? This pose here naturally opens the heart. Take an inhale breath. As you breathe out, reach back and into peaceful warrior. Lower the right hand to the knee or the thigh. Reach back through the left arm. Keep that lunge on your front leg. Next in-breath, lift yourself back up. And as you breathe out, windmill your hands down, gently walking towards the right long edge. And turn the left toes as you go and fold gently, letting go. If your fingertips don't touch the ground, hold on to your legs, or maybe even bring the hands to your hips. Can you draw your shoulders down your back? Can you release a little through your neck and your head? Maybe imagining all those crazy thoughts just dropping out of the head and into the floor. Take some nice, smooth breaths, slowing it down. Next in-breath, fingertips to the ground, under your shoulders, little half lift here. And as you breathe out, just simply walk back towards your left toes. Turn that foot forward, pick up the back heel. You're finding your lunge again. And as you breathe out next, step back, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, rise on your toes, meet plank. Use your exhale breath to lower with your options. Breathe it in, lift the heart. Breathe it out, options to travel back. Downward facing dog. Next in-breath, raise the right leg to the sky. As you breathe out, bend your knee, roll your hip open. And here, you're going to have a little choice. Some of you know your wild thing pose if you've been practicing with me. But if this is a little too much, stay here, come to downward dog, or release into child's pose. If you want to try your wild thing, bend into the left knee, pivot on the ball of the foot, drop the right foot down, feel your hips press up, and that right arm lift towards the sky. Beautiful, opening back, lovely and strong through your base, lots of space in the chest. Inhale, breath, return, come back. Downward facing dog. Exhale. In breath, raise the right leg to the sky. Breathing out, draw knee to nose, step it through. And again, this time you have your choice. You can come into your low lunge, drop that back knee to the floor, or you can return to your higher lunge. Use your in-breath, let the arms lift towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, plant through your feet, that little tuck, that little press through the back heel, nice and steady. And then from here, whether you're in your full lunge or your lower lunge, release that left hand all the way down and let your twist happen, pulling the belly towards the right thigh. Lovely openness through the chest. Well done. Inhale, release. Frame your foot, step forward. And as you breathe out, fold. Inhale, breath, rise from the floor to the ceiling. Breath out, hands to heart center. Simply pause, find that breath, slow and steady, calming down. Final side, in breath as you raise. Exhale, folding forward. In breath as the left leg steps. Find that lunge you choose. Is it a high lunge? Is it low? Take your in breath, sweep the arms up. As you breathe out, sink into the pose. Good, now that arrow pose. So inhale, wing your hands back behind you. Let the crown of the head reach forward. It's that strong tuck of your tail, pulling of the belly in that keeps you strong. Good, and let your inhale reach you back up into your high lunge. And as you breathe out, spin that back heel to the floor, wind open, warrior two. Take a moment just to adjust through the feet to the legs. Find that nice solid lunge and let your shoulders relax as the heart opens. Perhaps you can close your eyes again. Just simply breathing in, breathing out, feeling those little adjustments through the body. And take an in-breath here. As you breathe out, reach back, peaceful warrior. And next in-breath, feel yourself return through warrior two. Windmill those hands down and walk this time to the left side of your mat. Turn the right toes, let the legs separate nice and wide. Your feet are parallel with the short edges of your mat. And just gently let go in your fold. Again, you have your options. Hands to the floor, hands to the ankles, maybe hands to the hips. Or perhaps this time, you'd like to come back to that bind. Let's clasp the fingertips behind the back. Connect the wrists. Draw the fists, starting with them resting on your bottom, your lower back. And then if those shoulders and the arms will allow, simply pick the hands up and off the back. You'll feel the weight of that head drop even closer to the floor. Let the back of the neck stay nice and long. Just simply breathing in, breathing out. It's nice steady breaths as the heart opens and you feel the strength in your back. Next inhale, release the fingertips. Find that half lift. And as you breathe out, walk back towards your right foot. Turning the toes as you go. Pick up that back heel, find your lunge for a moment. And as you exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Simply breathe in, breathe out through the nose. Inhale breath as you rise on your toes, knee plank. As you breathe out, choose your options to lower. Inhale breath as the heart lifts, cobra or up dog. As you exhale, come back, downward facing dog. Simply breathe. You're coming again into that optional pose, your wild thing. So this is your time. If you're going to take a little rest, come to child's pose, stay here. Maybe just work with a bent three-legged dog. In your in-breath, raise the left leg to the sky. Breathing out, draw knee to nose and step it through. Again, choose your lunge. Do you want the low lunge with the knee down or the high lunge? Take an in-breath, let the arms sweep towards that sky. Find that lovely, strong lunge. If you're up a little higher, feel yourself engaged. So you're going to reach that right hand down to the floor. Use your in-breath, reach the right hand all the way down, nice and steady. As you breathe out, open through the chest, left hand high, belly squeezing towards that left thigh. Use your in-breath, release the left hand down, step the right foot forward. And as you breathe out, fold gently over your legs. Next in-breath, slowly rise, reach the arms wide, catch that high prayer above your head, and as you breathe out, draw the hands down to your heart center. Again, before we finally close, take a few moments, maybe adjusting through the legs, the neck, the shoulders, and take a gentle breath in, raise the arms. As you breathe out, fold forward. Take a step back and into your downward facing dog. Doesn't matter how you get there. A few moments perhaps to move a little through the feet, the legs again. Maybe with a new appreciation here of their strength. Might just like to find a nice long stretch in your downward dog. Feel that space on either side of your chest, rib cage. Next in breath, release the knees down. As you breathe out, let the bottom draw towards the heels. And this time in your child's pose, allow the hands to gently reach behind. Draw the head towards the floor. Maybe grab a pillow or a cushion to tuck underneath if it doesn't quite reach. Let the back of your heart open here as your shoulders roll forward. Simply let the body settle. Some nice deep breaths. Letting go of the effort of your practice, perhaps the challenge you gave yourself. Just simply be here. Sensations of the body. Maybe some other things have started to come to your attention. Next in breath, slide your hands under your shoulders. Very gently press the bottom back towards your heels and slowly roll yourself up and into a hero pose. Don't be in a rush as you release your head. Let the hands come to rest on the thighs. Can you tuck your tailbone down? Draw the navel in. Can you let your shoulders slide down the back? Let the heart stay open. And maybe even here, turn the palms up towards the sky. Gently open. I'm going to take your blanket or your prop now. I'm going to take it across the top of your mat. It's going to come underneath your back and your shoulders. So if this is a little too high, I actually like this kind of height. But if you want something a little flatter, just have a nice, soft, gentle recline. Let your bottom come onto the floor. I'm going to take the very tops of your shoulders to the top edge of your blanket or your support. Allow it to come there. If you can see for the knee, my head's going to travel all the way back. But if you're a little flatter, it might just be resting on the floor, a little more comfortable. Once you're here, take the legs nice and wide. Maybe adjust a little through the hips. And then let the arms travel outwards on your support. Find that perfect place for them to rest, where your muscles aren't tensing, doesn't feel like there's an effort. Here, it's just simply a lovely opening through the chest. As you close down your eyes, begin to connect again to the body. Perhaps there's a little movement or adjustment that's needed before you can finally find stillness and let go. Find the rhythm of your breath again. Feel it deepen into the belly, let it rise into the chest. As you breathe out, feel the body soften. Visualize yourself being held, the way a strong arm will hold a baby or a child, completely trusting. Let go of your control. Let go of the tension you've been holding, the fear and the anxiety in your body, and simply here be at peace. You and your breath. Allow the movement to happen first at your toes. A little wiggle of the toes. Perhaps pointing the feet and flexing them back. A lovely circle through your ankle. Let the movements now travel up your legs, rolling through the knees and the thighs. Feel that movement into your hips, your waist. Take a release through your shoulders, maybe a deep breath in as you begin to move through your fingers and arms. And when you feel ready, let the arms reach up and over your head. Stretch your body out nice and long. And as you breathe out, let the hands float down by your sides. Next deep breath now, draw your knees up and into your chest. Hug yourself in, give yourself a good squeeze, perhaps a gentle rock from side to side. And then release. Roll gently to your favorite side and pause. Taking a moment to notice how you feel in this moment. As you press into your hands now, slowly rise. You can once more find your cushion or your blanket, fold it up to make it a little higher, to place your bottom and come back into your comfortable seat. Once you've found your seat, close down the eyes. Feel the strength, the steady base of your legs, the support beneath you, the sit bones pressing down. But allow your spine to lengthen. Feel it as if it was light, made of air. The crown of the head reaches tall. Again, let the heart stay open as your shoulders gently slide down your back and away from your ears. Allow your palms now to come together at your chest. Simply connect the right side to the left, your masculine to your feminine. Two halves of yourself in perfect balance. And with a soft bow of your head down towards yourself, take a moment here to honor yourself, to honor those who might be watching this video with you. And finally, honor your practice. Close now together with the sound